Well, good evening again, whiskey lovers. It is me, your whiskey coach, back at it again with yet another whiskey review. Tonight, Old Forester 1920 Prohibition style bourbon. Maybe wondering what the two friends of said bottle are doing here. And I wanted to introduce to you the Whiskey Row series that the folks at Brown Forman have created. Um, the first iteration of Whiskey Row was the original batch, or the 1870. This one is basically, in essence, supposed to recreate the original recipe by George Garvin Brown in 1870. This one's a 90 proof bottling. The second bottle is the 1897. This one is supposed to basically honor the passage of the Bottled and Bond Act, which in my opinion, or not my opinion, but from what I understand is the first actual food and drink federal act that was ever passed, and that was protecting bourbons from what they were putting in the time before this act was passed was prune juice and tobacco spit and all sorts of nasty things to darken up whiskeys to make it look like it was a better pour than it actually was. So in 1897 they passed that Bottled and Bond Act. And the most recent, and as you can tell by the bottle here, by far in my opinion the most enjoyable in the series is the Old Forester 1920, the Prohibition style. So what happened was they were one of the distillers that were granted a medicinal distilling license. They were given the okay. 1920, this was the recipe they were using. You guys know I like to try to do these reviews, crack into it. No rehearsal, no second takes. I just give it to you straight. This one I have I have loved a lot, and I really wanted to talk to you about it. So with no further ado, oh, by the way, the bottles are all the same, just different colors. You get the red on the 1870, the green on the 1897, and this kind of Carolina Columbia blue on the 1920. But a very kind of simple, stately, traditional bourbon appearance on the bottles here. Now, what I really liked about this 1920 right off the bat is you're getting 115 proof. You go 90, 100, 115 proof. So for me, anytime I exceed 100 and maybe 10 proof or 55% ABV, I approach with a little bit of caution or respect. This bottle deserves all the caution. Deserves all the respect, but really none of the caution. It is an absolutely delicious pour. So I will jump right into that for you. First of all, it has amazing dark fruits and raisins, maybe almost like a marshmallow nose to it. I guess that's that maybe that burnt sugar thing kind of coming through. Amazingly approachable for 115 proof. Dark fruit, cherry, beautiful nose. It is absolutely spicy. You feel it right on the tip of your tongue, right off the bat. It's got that heat. And that first sip that I just took, anytime you take a first sip of a spirit, I don't care if it's 80 proof, 90 proof, 100 proof, or in this case, 115, you get a little bit of that palate shock, and obviously a little bit more at 115. But this pour is your palate adapts very, very quickly for such a highly proofed spirit. And you immediately are tasting all these intense flavors, all these cinnamon and all the things I said on the nose come through on the palate. Not a lot of the molasses or anything like that. It's zesty, lemon rinds, like orange peel. Definitely like a chocolate covered cherry almost, like a dark chocolate covered cherry. And already, that's 2 sips in, and I'm already just kind of completely comfortable with it. I'm already sort of adapted, and that's something you don't see a whole lot of on a, like I said, on a spirit to that proof. I do this one more time before I give it a grade. I feel like I know it pretty well, as you can see, but I always like to try things at least 3 times before throwing a number at it. Yeah, the folks at Brown-Forman have done a really nice job with this bourbon. Value-wise, from a price standpoint, this is going to push you into the $60 range, maybe $55. I've seen as low as $49.99, but an incredible value for what you get. A high proof, no nonsense, delicious bourbon. You know, now you think something like that, you're thinking you're at $100. This one you don't have to spend $100, but it has everything that some of those higher priced whiskeys do. Availability, you don't see it on the shelves as much as these two. I think that's pretty simple because it's frankly a little bit better juice. But you can find it. It's not a unicorn yet, that's for sure. So that's nice. I try not to take that into account much, but I can't help myself a little bit. Nice finish, by the way. Getting it still as I'm talking. I'm going to give this pour an 8.0. Very good whiskey. If you haven't had it, if you haven't, you're part of the country or world, and you've been on the fence, I say pull the trigger. Thanks, guys. Love having you here. Thank you to all my new viewers. Stay tuned. Plenty more to come. And until next time, and as always, glasses up.